Another tip that I want to mention is if you leave your power strip on while your computer is off, you can lose communications with your hub. This is your hub right here.
Yeah.
And you should normally have a power light on. You'll have a slightly dimmer power light for the Ethernet connection here, and you'll have these two red lights on up here. If this light is off, or if one of those lights is off, it usually means communication's been interrupted. That means your torch isn't going to jog up and down properly, and it's not going to fire right. So this hub can be reset if you have that kind of problem.
Okay.
This happens like if we go out to lunch or something like that, and the table's idle for 2 or 3 hours. You come back in and it's not moving around right. All you got to do is reset this little guy. And so I'll usually just reach in and grab this power supply back here, this little AC adapter, and I'll pull that out. You can see it all shut off, and then I'll just plug it back in again. You pull it out, wait a couple seconds, plug it back in, it reestablishes communications. So if you turn your computer off, you shut it down, you turn your motor controller off, but you forget to turn your power strip on, this guy will time out.
Okay.
All right. Also, you want to pay attention to the power button on the computer here. This is how you turn the computer on, but it is not how you turn the computer off. If you hold that button down and turn the computer off, you can lose some of your settings, particularly in SheetCam. If you turn your power strip off before the computer is completely shut down, you can lose some of those settings in SheetCam. If you open up SheetCam and it says an automatic backup has been found, do you want to load it? If you hit yes, it will revert to default settings in SheetCam and your torchlight controller will work. So those are a couple of things to pay attention to with SheetCam. You don't want to load any default settings, and you typically don't want to save the default tool set either. When you close down SheetCam, sometimes it'll ask you if you want to save the default tool set. You almost always hit no, unless you've just loaded up a tool set. If you just loaded up a tool set, like we're going through the process of recovering from issues like that, then you would hit yes. If you just created your own tool, like you were going to cut some brass and you modified an aluminum tool to cut brass with, or copper with, you would save your default tool set after that. But otherwise, if it asks you to save the default tool set, you click no. All right? We don't really want the default tool set. We want the ArcLight factory tool set.
That's the whole point.
Right. So I'm going to have you on the controls here. I all too often grab the mouse. Let me grab my notes and have you run the controls. We can go ahead and lock up the cabinet again so we can get that door after that. All right, so first things first, we're going to look at some settings in SheetCam. We're going to start with options. We're going to go to job options. Here in job options, we've got the size of the material. If you want to move this box over a little bit, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Just grab the toolbar, drag it over. So this red square here indicates our material size. The gray square here indicates our overall table size. All right? So right now we've got 24 inches by 24. That's good. You might change this every job you do. You might leave this set to 60 by 60 because you've got a 5 by 5. Doesn't really matter. What does matter is rapid clearance. Rapid clearance should be 1.5 inches. Unsafe clearance should be 0.75 inches. These settings do vary a little bit. You might have 1.5 and 1.2 as your factory settings. They are very important because this determines how high up your torch raises when it's doing a rapid traverse. If you're doing rapid traverses at half an inch off the deck, you run into the risk of crashing into something, right? So we want 1.5 inch rapid clearance, so we're lifting up plenty high to pass over any tip-ups or other issues that might occur.
Okay.
With plunge safety clearance, we don't want this to be too low either. If that gets set to some fraction of an inch, it can mess with the touch-off sequence. If this reverts to its settings, like if you accidentally shut the computer off the wrong way or you lose power while you're in SheetCam, it can reset this plunge safety clearance. And it'll set it to some minuscule